The McDermott story is a truly rare Iowa story of the father-son, head coach-player relationships among major college basketball programs. Doug is a two-time first-team All-American who opted to stay at Creighton rather than turn to the NBA. Coach McDermott, at both Northern Iowa and Creighton, has enjoyed a strong win-loss record in a tough mid-sized conference. But now it's into uncharted waters in the Big East Conference.
I think our fan excitement is at an all-time high, coming off the couple years that we've had with Doug's decisions to return for his senior year and the move to the Big East. It's a great time to be a Blue Jay.
How do you and your teammates feel about what you're heading into now?
You know, we're really excited. It's obviously going to be a lot different than the Missouri Valley Conference. We know it's going to be much more athletic guys. We're going to be going to different cities, different arenas, so it's all going to be kind of a new experience to us, which we're really excited about. I mean, we know it's going to be a challenge just because it's the Big East, and there's going to be better teams, so we're just going to have to step our game up another level.
You made that decision to stay. Are you comfortable with that decision that you made, and what are you going to do about increasing your skills at a level where you help your team, but also increase the broad spectrum of you as an individual?
It was a really tough decision, and I thought a long time about it. He could tell you that. It took quite a few weeks to come up with that decision, and I'm really excited about it. It all came down to just wanting to be a college kid for another year, be around my teammates who are some of my best friends, and play in front of 17,000, 18,000 fans every night. That really played a big factor in it, and I feel like I'm really confident I can play at the next level someday, so I'm just going to keep that at the back of my mind, and I'm really excited about that.
Just one thing about your technique. I was especially impressed with how you shoot free throws. I saw the game against Wichita State and all the things that went on there, the big one. But the point is, you had something like 18 out of 20 free throws, and I noticed you tipped the same. The back rim had something to it. You almost hit the back rim down and in it. That's a gift, or is it practice?
Just a lot of practice and sticking with the same thing every single time, not switching up my routine, and just being mentally focused every single time I step to the line. So that's the main part of it. That's half the battle right there, just being mentally prepared each time you step up there.
Outside of Maury John, who's the coach at Drake and at Iowa State, his son played for him at Iowa State. You're the only major Iowa school to have this relationship. How is it like coaching your son? And then I'll give him a shot.
I think it's going to mean even more, 10 years from now. When Doug has children and he understands the value in what's taken place as a father. He doesn't have any perspective on that right now. But it's been very rewarding for me. And certainly there were some challenges early because as a college coach, you don't have time to coach your kids when they're young. You're recruiting in the summertime when they're playing baseball. The AAU basketball seasons cross over with your seasons, so it's very difficult to spend time coaching your kids. So it was really our first go-around was 3 years ago, and I think there were some challenges for both of us, some things that we had to figure out, some lines that had to be drawn between father and coach and player and son, but we've navigated through that, and it's been a terrific experience. It's one that I'll always cherish, and I'm excited about the opportunity to coach him one more year. But there's been certainly far more positives than any negatives. Part of my responsibility is to help Doug become better. Sometimes you have to tell him things that he doesn't want to hear as he develops his game and tries to become a better player. But we've always had a good relationship, which has helped. I think Doug has done a terrific job of being a good teammate. And most people that watch us practice would never know that we're father-son by the way we interact in practice on the game floor. And that's the way I want it, and that's the way Doug wants it.
It's been a great experience. Like you said, it was different to start because we really didn't know it's our first go-around. So it was a little difficult to start, but now that I'm here sitting here as a senior, it's flown by. And once I step on the floor for games, I don't even really realize my father's on the sideline. Sometimes in practice I can notice it a little more because maybe I don't want to be there as much, but during the game I don't realize it at all, and that's part of the reason it's flying by, just because we've had so much fun with it.
One thing I'm quite sure of that you're going to run across in the metropolitan centers is that press is not necessarily going to be as kind to any school that comes in and plays, and there are going to be some tough, hard questions that sometimes people just looking for some way to get you irate.
You know, Doug's been asked about every question known to man about basketball and about a father-son relationship. What's it like playing for your dad? And because of, you know, his success the last 2 years, being an All-American 2 years in a row, he's been exposed to a level of the media that not many college kids at his age have been exposed to. And going back to high school, with his experience as a high school player and their success as a team and playing next to Harrison Barnes, they were exposed at a young age to a level of media that not many high school players were exposed to. So Doug is very good with the media. He's remained very humble throughout his success, and that's probably the one thing that I'm most proud of. And there's some tough media people out in this world, but I'm not sure any of them can crack Doug.
Going back to those high school days, I saw the title game one year when you and Barnes were playing on one team, and then Linmar had a kid that's now a starting guard as a freshman for North Carolina. I thought, whenever will you ever see three players of that level on the floor at the same time in an Iowa high school?
There's been great players in the state of Iowa. You know, you can go back a long ways, and there's been a lot of talent that has come out of the state of Iowa, and I think that's a credit to the high school coaching in the state, certainly. The AAU programs, I think, do it the right way with the kids in mind. He's had a great experience, and his high school coach and AAU coaches certainly had a big impact in his career.
Again, playing as close to Harrison Barnes as you did you talk to him about what his experiences were or what his advice might be?
Yeah, I did. You know, he had a great first year with the Warriors. I talked to him a little bit throughout the process in making my decision, and his advice to me was just go when you feel like you're 100% ready. And I didn't feel like I was 100% bought into that, so that kind of hit me, and I'm glad he gave me that advice, because it's definitely a different level of basketball up there, and it's a different lifestyle. So you got to be ready for it when you go.
There was a former Creighton basketball player that's done a pretty fair job in the pros, Kyle Korver. As I think right now he's right near the top all-time of shooting percentage from at the three-point level. Did you get a chance to visit with him?
Yes, I did. You know, he's another guy that I talked to a lot throughout the process. We were down in Atlanta for the Final Four this year, and I got a chance to spend some time with him. So that was really big for me, just because he's been in the NBA for 10 years. So he's gone through it all, and he's obviously a Creighton guy too. So it's really comforting having a guy like that to talk to.
It seems like you've got it pretty well centrally located as far as where you should be. And Coach, you've got a starting forward more than you might have had.
Well, it certainly makes our transition into the Big East much easier, knowing that you know that he's going to be on our team, and it's a big year for Doug.
One more year! One more year! One more year!
Not only is he coming back for his senior year with a lot of eyes on him, but his leadership within our program has changed as well. You know, I grew up in the state of Iowa, and you know, my upbringing is something I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. Growing up on a farm in eastern Iowa was something I wouldn't trade for anything.
Since we had this conversation, we learned that Doug McDermott gave up his scholarship so Linmar of Marion's veteran star Grant Gibbs could have that last remaining scholarship.
You're stuck with me, brother.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Randy.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, Rob!
Excited, a little surprised. It's a great opportunity. I'm excited to come back, and you know, a lot of people helped me out in this, and I'm very appreciative.
This means that Doug has his best assist man to work with for one more year.
I think he'll probably be the best walk-on in America. You know, we've played together for 2 years now, and have developed good chemistry and been successful. So, you know, him coming back was huge, and I'm, you know, more than happy to come back and do what I do to try to help us win games.